Hey guys, what's up? This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Forever coming to you with Dragons of Legend recap. Kind of, all the cards that have been released so far, whether their effects have been confirmed or not. I'm going to go through them and give you my opinions. And this is probably going to be split into two parts because I just tried recording this last time and it cut me off 24 minutes in. So I got to kind of speed through this. And there's a few cards I want to go through, and then I also kind of want to give my opinion on them, and then also, and I think this is probably going to be in the second part, but I'm going to kind of tell you guys what cards I think should be in here, cards I'd like to see in there. Should be pretty cool. So, yeah, I'm going to start with Legendary Knight Timaeus. Okay, so it doesn't have an actual effect, but it says, when this card is successfully summoned, destroy all spell cards on the field. So, I mean, it's somewhat similar to its anime effect, because its anime effect was destroy all spell or trap cards on the field, like the Orichalcos or whatever. But Timaeus, this one I think might work as I don't know, moderate heavy storm, but I don't know how you would summon it. It's a level 8 monster with like 2800 attack. And there's Curry Bandit. I assume you guys all know what that does. Excavate the top 5 cards. When it's during the end phase, this card was normal summoned. Excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if there are any, if there's a spell card in there, you can add it to your hand and send the other ones up. Send all the other monsters up to the graveyard. 1500 attack. Two-target target, though you wouldn't want to use its effect for that. It's definitely good in Sylvans. Kind of opens up a chaos play with the new Sylvans. Also, the new Sylvans coming out in Primal Origin as well. It definitely helps open up like a kind of a chaos play if they want. They could. Then Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. Okay, so it's a fusion monster. Requires Dark Magician Girl and a Dragon type monster. The fusion summon must be conducted with 2 above monsters or with the Eye of Timaeus, and it cannot be summoned except by fusion summon, so no call vaunted or, other ways of summoning it back. It's 2600 attack, so it's pretty cool. During either player's, once per turn, during either player's turn, discard 1 card from your hand, and you can target one card in the field and destroy it, so that's pretty cool. It's actually really cool. You can just destroy whatever 1 card on the field during either turn, so that's really cool. Then there's the Eye of Timaeus. Eye of Timaeus is a normal spell card, and it reads, this card is also always treated as Legendary Dragon Timaeus. I'm not sure what that means, but it might have something to do with something else being released in the set, I'm not sure. Target 1 Dark Magician monster you control, fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck that lists that monster on the field as a fusion material monster using it as the fusion material. You can only activate the Eye of Timaeus per turn. So, this works with like Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. You could go, into any fusion that requires Dark Magician, namely Dark Paladin, or into Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. So that's pretty cool. It's a spell card, so yeah, it's really interesting. I'm kind of excited for this card because I'm kind of a Dark Magician fan, so opens up new ways of going into the old stuff. Guardian Dread Scythe is the next card. This one doesn't have a confirmed effect, but it reads, this card cannot be normal summon or set, and must be a special summon, but we don't know by what means. So I can't really give my opinion on that. But next card, Guarded Treasure. Continuous spell card. Discard 5 cards, draw 2, and during each of your draw phase you can draw 2 cards. Now, most people are saying, oh, this card is like broken, but there's only 2 ways I could really think of this deck being broken. If you were to use it in Dragons, and if you were to use it in Fables. The thing is, you need to discard 5 cards, so that immediately means you have to either use it on your first turn when you're going second because of the new ruling, of, okay, yeah, you can't draw your first turn, or you have to use it later in the game when you somehow manage to have 5 cards in hand that you don't need or want that you could put in the graveyard. And, it's a continuous card, sure, but it's like, yeah, I mean, this could get MST'd, it could get negated in multiple ways. And sure, Fableds, they can benefit off of it by getting all their effects off, but you just need to have 5 cards in hand. It's just, it's iffy for me. I'd probably use it in like a fun duel or something. Okay, so next card. Soul Charge. For anyone that's heard of this card so far, you already know it's broken. Target any number of monsters in your graveyard, special summon them, and if you do, you lose 1,000 life points for each monster. Special summon by this effect. For each monster, special summon by this effect. You can't conduct your battle phase this turn. The turn you activate that card, and you can only activate 1 soul charge per turn. Okay, so at least it has a limit on how many you can activate per turn, as where Rekindling, you can activate 3 in 1 turn. But, I mean, you can summon any number of monsters with, no restrictions. So I guess this kind of gives levels a 1-up now because, Rekindling is at 1, but now we have like 4 because we can run like 3 extra soul charges and just get shit done. I mean, you could actually go into a second Quasar if you had another soul charge, because you could soul charge, bring back Formula of Synchron and the 2 monsters that you use for Quasar, and then go into Quasar again, second turn or whatever. And it's like, okay, I got 2 Quasars now, good game. I can't attack you this turn, but it's pretty much game. It's a pretty broken card. I mean, screw the fact that you have to lose life points. You're only going to summon at most 3, maybe 4 monsters. You're not going to summon that many monsters, unless the deck relies on boosting your life points, so you can do that. Next card, let's see, Sabatiel, the Philosopher's Stone. Okay, so Sabatiel, the Philosopher's Stone. If you have a Winkaribo monster in your graveyard, pay half your life points, add a Polymerization spell card or a Fusion spell card from your deck to your hand, except a Fusion Wave Motion. If this card's in your grave, you can banish 3 copies of said card from your graveyard, then target 1 monster on the field. It gains attack equal to the attack of the monster on the field with the highest attack of your choice if tied. Until the end of this turn. So basically, you have Winkaribo in grave. You can add a Super Polymerization, Normal Polymerization. I guess you could add Gem Knight Fusion. You could also add Shadowhole Fusion or whatever that one is. You could add or Fusion Gate from your deck to your hand, except for Diffusion Wave Motion. And if you have 3 copies of Engrave, banish it, and then you can target 1 monster on the field. It gains attack equals to the attack of the monster on the field with the highest attack. So, whatever monster has the highest attack, the monster you choose gets points equal to that. So, let's say you have a, and this is just off the top of my head, let's say you have like, I don't know, a Tempest, the dragon monster, and they have like an Obelisk the Tormentor. So your monster would get 4,000 more points, and it would be able to run over Obelisk and do like 2,400 damage, I think. So that would be pretty cool. That was just off the top of my head. So yeah, I mean, people say it's not good because you have to run Winkaribo, but 3 Winkaribo, 3 Sabatiel. I mean, if you're running it in a hero deck, it wouldn't matter as much because then, you may slow down your plays a bit, but you'd still have that. Okay, next up, Mathematician. Okay, so level 3, 1,500 attack, 500 defense. When this card is summoned, you can normal summon. When this card is summoned, you can send 1 level 4 lower monster from your deck to your hand, or from your deck to your graveyard. And when this card is destroyed in the battle, you can draw 1 card. So it kind of works as a combination of Foolish Burial and Card Trooper. I mean, people would rather play Armageddon Knight over it because, for 1, it's a level 4 target. 2, Dark. And Mathematician, it kind of ranges, so you could use it in Lightsworn. So you could use it with like Wolf or Felice or Raiden Raiden, however that you pronounce that one, or to just put the fourth one in there so you can summon Judgment Dragon. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then there's Ra's Disciple. Ra's Disciple. This effect isn't confirmed, but when this card is normal summoned, you can special summon up to 2 Ra's Disciples from your hand or deck, and you can't special summon any other monsters that turn except for Ra's Disciple, and you can't tribute summon any monsters except for Divine Beasts. I mean, that's the unconfirmed effect, and I hope that's the actual effect. So I mean, that means you can instantly go into any Egyptian god, really, if you had like double summon, or if you waited a turn, like with whatever you needed to stop them. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. Let's see, moving on. Magic Hand. When your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand except by drawing, send that card to their hand and send that card to their graveyard and inflict 800 damage to them. So that's like, okay, you excavate and add something to your hand, Magic Hand sends that right back to your graveyard. Or Rhoda, add a monster, okay, it goes to your grave. Magical Stone Excavation, anything that adds stuff from your deck to your hand. Anything that excavates, or I guess also duality, because you're like looking at the top 3 as excavating. So I mean, anything that excavates kind of just gets slowed down, or searches. Like Hysteric Sign for Harpies kind of gets killed because, you just lost all the cards that you just added to your hand and you take 800 damage. 800 is not that big, but it's the fact that it's lost 3 cards. And then there's Fire Hand. When this card in your possession is destroyed by battle or card effect, target one monster on the field, on your opponent's field, and destroy it, and then special summon Ice Hand. So Ice Hand, it fire and ice, opposites, but they work really well together. Ice Hand does the exact same thing, except it destroys a spell or trap card and summons Fire Hand. So they work hand in hand there. No pun intended. But yeah, I think those will work pretty well. And then Prominence Hand. If you have Magic Hand, Fire Hand, or Ice Hand out, you can special summon this card. So that's like an immediate rank 4 right there. And that's pretty cool. And then there's Berserker Soul. It doesn't have a confirmed effect, but what it reads as the blurb, so to speak, is whatever it's called. Draw monsters for massive damage. So basically what it did in the anime is a 1500 or less attack point monster would be able to attack directly for every monster that you pulled off the top of your deck. So basically, if you drew, like, say, 7 monsters off the top of your deck, that monster would be able to attack your opponent directly 7 times. So it's like, okay, so if it has, like, 1500 attack, and it can attack 7 times, I mean, you're looking at, like, 10,500 points of damage right there. And that's pretty impressive. Looks like an OTK. And then there's Black Sonic, the new, Blackwing card. When a Blackwing monster you control is targeted for an attack, banish all face-up attack position monsters your opponent controls. So that works as like a combination of Mirror Force and D-Prison, which is pretty cool. And it also has another effect. If you have, let's say it says if you have exactly 3 Blackwing monsters on the field and no other monsters, you can activate this card from your hand. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I like that. It's like really kick-ass. Alright, so next we have Blackwing Steam the Cloaked. I don't know if this one has an official effect or not. No, it does not. Okay, so this one in the anime, I guess, really isn't all that good, but it could be. When this card leaves the field, special summon 1 Steam token, level 1, attack 100, defense 100. Destroy that token during the end phase. If a steam token is face up in the field when the attack of an opponent's monster becomes 0, that monster is removed from play. So, that's pretty cool. I mean, like, steam token, basically. I mean, steam the cloaked. I think that would work well with, I don't know, maybe Blackwing Dragon or something. Some way you can make it 0. I mean, but it's like, Steam the Cloaked is a level 3 tuner, and it has 800 attack, 1200 defense, so what you can do is, you know, you could search it out with Black Whirlwind, and then you can sync with it, and then you have a Steam token, and if you want to sync again, you can use that token to sync again. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. And if it gets destroyed, then you have something to protect your life points. So, yeah. It's not that bad, but I kind of wish the token had more attack or defense. But, you know, whatever. I ain't complaining. I mean, that's not even its official effect. That was the effect in the anime. So I don't know if that's what it's going to be when it comes out or not. Then there's... Let's see... Next card on the list, also, not sure, but it's Blackwing Hurricane the Tornado. It's a level 1 winged beast tuner with 0 attack and defense. Its effect is unconfirmed, but it says it gains the attack of 1 synchro monster on the field. Its anime effect was when this card is summoned, select 1 face of synchro monster on the field. This card's attack becomes the same as the selected monsters. So, you know, you could choose just about anything. Let's say you've already made them negate Quasar effect. You could summon this, or use Quasar's effect to negate. Summon this, copy its attack points, and then, you know, attack and use Kalut to boost it up so your monster doesn't go anywhere and they lose Quasar in 1400. But then they get, Shooting Star, unless you can stop that somehow. You could activate, like, I don't know, Solemn Warning or Bottomless Trap Hole, and then they'd probably negate it, the Bottomless, with Shooting Star, and then lose it anyway. Because it wouldn't be able to summon back. Okay, so the next card is Final Fusion. So it's English. It's a fact. It's a trap. It's a normal trap card. Activate only when a face-up fusion monster you control battles an opponent's fusion monster. Each player takes damage equal to the combined attack of the battling monsters. You can activate this card during the damage calculation. So basically, the first thing that pops into my mind is E-Heroes versus Cyber Dragons, because they both rely on fusion monsters, and I guess later on Shadows. And that's pretty interesting. You could, you know, okay, I have like enough life points to survive this, or if I want, I can throw the duel into a draw. So I mean, that's pretty cool. That's something E-Heroes and Cyber Dragons, I guess, could take advantage of. So yeah, still not done. Still got a few cards left. Okay, so the next card's Gate Blocker. This one doesn't have an well, wait. Let me check, actually, if it does or not. Nope. Gate Blocker was a card using Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. It was basically, okay, you can't gain counters, speed counters, off of Speed World. Kinda make it so they couldn't do much. So, I don't know how they're gonna transform that into a card that we can use. Maybe, you know, stop them from using a spell card once per turn. I don't know. I'm not sure what they could do with that, but I'm interested to see what they do with that. The next card is a quick play spell card known as Instant Fusion. And yes, there was already a card with that name, but this is the GX version, the quick play spell. It says fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your side of the field as fusion materials. Destroy that monster during the end phase of this turn. So granted, it's not as good as super polymerization is, but it gets the job done. Let's say you've already activated super polymerization and you still don't have enough to go for game. You could activate an instant fusion and then do it again and attack for game. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. I've always thought that was a cool card because, I'm a huge GX fan and 5Ds fan, so. And the original is pretty kick-ass. Next card on the list is Legend of Heart. Okay, now I don't know if this one has an released English effect yet. I kind of doubt it, because last I checked it didn't. No it doesn't, but its anime effect is pay 1,000 life points, tribute one warrior type monster and remove from play the Eye of Timaeus, one Claw of Hermos, and one Fang of Critias from your hand, deck, side of the field, or graveyard. Special summon one Legendary Knight Timaeus, Legendary Knight Hermos, and Legendary Knight Critias. If you activate this card, destroy any face-up Seal of Orichalcos, Orichalcos Deuteros, or Orichalcos Tritos, ignoring its effect that prevents itself from being destroyed. So that's pretty cool. But, I don't know how they would change this into, an effect now. Because for one, they haven't released anything for Hermos and Critias yet, and I hope they do. And they haven't released anything for Deuteros or Orichalcos Tritos. So I don't know if it would just be for Timaeus, or they're going to change the effect completely, or what, I'm not sure. Kind of interested to see what they do with that card too. Anyway, next up on the list is it's Mound of the Bound Creator. I just clicked the wrong card. My computer's stupid. Let's see, Mound of the Bound Creator. It's a field spell card that was used in GX. Let's see. In the anime, because they don't have an English effect released yet, in the anime it was level 10 or higher monsters on the field cannot be destroyed by card effects. When a level 10 or higher monster destroys a monster by battle, the controller of the destroyed monster takes 400 damage. So, basically, it worked with the Egyptian gods, namely Ra, in the Japanese, in the anime. So, like, basically, whenever it would destroy a monster, your opponent basically would take 400 extra points of damage. So it's like, oh yeah, level 10 monster, just burn through your life points even faster by taking off an extra 400 each time. Okay, so the next card, and we're kind of getting into more XYZ monsters here, is Chaos number 5, Chaos Chimera Dragon. It's a rank 6 with 0 attack and defense, and it requires 3 or more level 6 monsters. It cannot be destroyed by battle. This is the anime effect, because they haven't released an effect for it yet. But it cannot be destroyed by battle except with number monsters, like all numbers. This card gains 1,000 attack for each XYZ material attached to it. This card cannot attack except with its own effect. During your battle phase, you can attach 1 XYZ material from this card, banish 1 random card from your opponent's deck, and if you do, this card can make an attack during the battle phase. If this card declares a direct attack, have this card's attack during damage calc only. At the end of the battle phase, if you have used this effect previously during this battle phase, place all cards that were banished by this effect on the top of your opponent's deck in any order. Also, they cannot be used for the rest of the duel. During your opponent's standby phase, you can pay half your life points, attach all the cards that this card detached during your last turn from your graveyard to this card as XYZ material. If this card is XYZ summoned by ranking up number 5, Death Chimera Dragon, it gains this effect. Once per turn, you can attach 1 card from your hand to this card as an XYZ material. So, yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how they go about with that. They're going to obviously remove the can't be destroyed except by number thing, because they always do. But I'm wondering what they'll do for it. I don't think they'll change much else. And And I also hope they put number 5 in the set too, because otherwise Chaos number 5 is going to be almost useless. I mean, you can use its first effect, sure, but it's that second effect that's pretty kick-ass. Next card is, clicked the wrong thing again. Damn it. Next card is, the next card is Chaos number 73, Abyss Supra. Don't know if they'll change the name or not. It requires 3 level 6 monsters. Can't be destroyed by battle except with number, blah blah blah. Once per turn, if this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calc in either player's turn, you can detach an Xyz material from this card. This card gains attack use with the attack of the opponent's monster it is battling. So it kind of works as like an Honest, but it's a water attribute monster, and it has 3,000 attack. So, and this is like one of the few chaos. This is like the only chaos monster I've ever seen. One of the few that it doesn't get an effect from its. It doesn't get an effect from being ranked up by its non-chaos counterpart. So I mean, it doesn't mention anything about number 73. If you rank it up with this, you get a certain effect. It doesn't mention that at all. Next up, there is Chaos number 106, Giant Red Hand. I'm glad they changed it. It used to be Giant Hand Red, and that made absolutely no sense. Giant Hand Red. Why not just make it Giant Red Hand? Okay, so that's 2600 attack, rank 5, requires 3 level 5 monsters. If this card has a number monster as an Xyz material, it gains this effect, because they have an English effect for it already. Once per turn during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated on the field, detach 1 Xyz material from this card, and if you do, negate the effects of all other face-up cards currently on the field until the end of this turn. So again, another card that doesn't rely on having 105 as Xyz, 106 as you know, has its, because they kind of just combined it. Oh, it says if this card has a number of monster as an Xyz material, but it doesn't have to be that number. It could be any number really, but I don't know how you'd rank it up. It could be anything. Next card after that is Rank Up Magic Quick Chaos. If my computer would stop going back to the one I just did, that would be great, because this is already like 27 minutes. Jeez. God damn it. No. Damn it, I clicked Rank Up Magic and he still brought me to Chaos 106. Bitch. Okay. Sorry this is taking so long. My computer's just really retarded sometimes. Okay.